Influencers facing a huge downfall. The era of influencers seems to be shifting, and it's not looking pretty for some of our biggest names. Many influencers have slowly been losing that influence they once had, especially now that the term influencer has morphed into something completely different from what it used to mean. TikTok has especially given rise to countless influencers since around 2020-2021, mostly because, well, we all know what was going on in the world back then. But lately, some of these so-called influencers have been a bit too much. They're misusing their platforms, getting into messy controversies, and facing a lot of backlash. So, we're going to dive into some of the most talked about scandals of the moment, and trust me, you wouldn't want to miss this tea. Now, before we get into the thick of it, we can't ignore the one and only mega influencer Kim Kardashian. She's faced her fair share of criticism, especially around her choices with her daughter, North. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about North Kanye and Kim's eldest daughter. The situation has sparked a lot of opinions, and let's just say not all of them are supportive.
North West is actually hilarious. I need more interviews with North West. There was this recent interview with Kim Kardashian and her daughter North West, and Kim was asking her a bunch of questions and North was just giving like hysterical answers. And I mean hysterical, I do mean that North is reading Kim to film.
So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's get into it. So let's start with Kim. You probably remember how Kanye, Kim's ex-husband and North's dad, has always had strong feelings against North appearing on TikTok and other social media. In fact, Kanye's been very vocal about not wanting his daughter to be on camera so much.
Off the phone with Kim, I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so.
Well, apparently, Kim did not quite get the message because North is constantly popping up on TikToks, even taking it a step further by doing a magazine cover interview with her. And get this, Kim wasn't just sitting back while North did her thing. She was interviewing her own daughter in this magazine feature, and some of the questions, let's just say, they did not quite sit right with a lot of people. From what we saw in the interview, Kim asked North questions that, let's be honest, you shouldn't normally ask an 11-year-old. People were seriously concerned, saying things like, is Kim really protecting her daughter from the pressures of media and fame? Or shouldn't North be allowed to act her age? Some viewers could not help but feel uncomfortable with the whole setup.
Hey, it's me, Kanye West. Hey, it's me, North West. Didn't I get invoked when I was one?
Yeah, you peed on Dad.
No, there's this one of me. Is it AI?
I was there.
Is it AI?
At one point, Kim even asked North what she'd name her clothing line if she ever had one. North, being 11, probably hasn't put too much thought into this. But there she was on camera having to come up with an answer. The whole thing ended up spreading like wildfire across the internet, with people weighing in on how Kim was possibly setting her daughter up for a really tough future.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know. I already do a lot of stuff that I want to be when I grow up. I just want to pursue my careers now.
But that wasn't even the most shocking part of the interview. The entire thing seemed more suited for an audience of adults rather than something more age-appropriate like Teen Vogue or Pop Beat, a magazine North's peers might actually read. The interview kicked off with North showing her fan side. Kim asked her which cartoon character she'd choose to be, and North, staying true to her edge, chose Barbie. Pretty cute, right?
Is it AI?
I was there.
Is it AI?
If you could live inside of a cartoon, which one would it be?
Barbie.
Why?
I really like Raquel, and it's a good show, and I watch it every night. I will literally be like, yes, I'm a Barb, come on.
Fun fact about North, every night when she falls asleep, she leaves the TV on.
That's not a fun fact. That's not a fun fact.
But things took a turn when Kim got more personal, asking North if she enjoyed being in front of the camera. Kim asked, do you like being on camera? North's answer? Well, he was pretty honest. North said, I like taking pictures of myself, but I don't like it when paparazzi do. When I just woke up and there's so much paparazzi, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna sue you. She went on, If I'm not tired, if my outfit's good, I'm like, okay, I could take a picture. Imagine being 11 years old and having to think about how you look for paparazzi. For most kids, that's probably the farthest thing from their minds. At that age, you're usually more concerned about what snack you're having or which cartoon you're watching before bed. But for North, it's all about the cameras, the outfit, and the angle.
Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying?
And a lot of people think that's because Kim has turned her daughter into a bit of a mini celebrity. People online were quick to point out that if they had an interview like that with their child, that would keep it as a private family moment. But for Kim, privacy doesn't seem to be the priority. One part of the interview that really made Joe's drop was when North was asked about her future career path. For a second, it was easy to forget she's just a kid because she started talking about her dreams, or rather, what seems to be her mom's dreams. Kim asked, "If you started your own clothing line, what would you call it?" And North confidently replied, "Well, I'm starting my own clothing line." Kim, acting surprised, asked what North would name it, to which North said Northwest. Cute, but also a little eerie. It's like North's childhood has been replaced with these grand business plans, and fans are left wondering if these are her own ambitions or if Kim has been planting these ideas in her head from day one.
Now, it's interesting, as we know, the Kardashians have definitely had a bit of a backlash or a decline in their popularity. Their show isn't doing as well. Their product lines aren't quite as noteworthy. So when Kim asks Northwest, what do you want to be when you grow up? And her answer is, I don't know, because I already do a lot of stuff that I want to be when I grow up, and I just want to pursue my careers now. It makes a lot of sense for them to indulge her as they did with The Lion King, because they need something else for people to talk about.
Now I get it. We want our kids to have dreams, but shouldn't they enjoy just being kids? The general sentiment among viewers was that North has her whole life ahead of her to explore these goals. And with the resources her family has, she doesn't exactly need to rush. Now, let's not forget the cooking comment that came up. Kim asked North what she thought about her cooking, which actually had the internet laughing and judging. See, Kim hasn't cooked for her kids in, well, who knows how long? North remembered the last time her mom cooked. It was 2 Halloweens ago. And the meal was mac and cheese.
Last time you cooked was 2 Halloweens ago. And Kim tried to say it was, what did I make? North says mac and cheese. Kim's like, and fried chicken and cornbread. I'm a one-trick pony. Is that one meal good? And then for the nail in the coffin, North is like, it's good. Just that you're really good at making me cucumbers and salt. This is so much. Just because you can tell that Kim was like, yeah, but I make all these other really good foods, like these soul foods type of thing. North is just like, yeah, it's good, but like you usually just give me like this minuscule rabbit food. I love her so much.
People were saying things like, if I were Kim, I'd cook a little more often. Kim's a mom, and cooking for your kids even just occasionally can create special memories. But for Kim, that's clearly not a priority. And then there was the moment Kim asked North about the best day of her life, and North's answer was, maybe in Italy with dad. North reminisced about a special time with her dad, Kanye, and her younger siblings. She recalled teaching Chicago's Saint and Sam how to pray at a house decorated with statues of, well, let's just say it wasn't exactly family-friendly decor. North's memories of that day with Kanye were warm.
What was the best day of your life?
Maybe in Italy. It was just very chill, just spending time with my siblings. That's when I really brought them close to God. And I was like, we had this house there, and there was like these devil statues, and I was like, no, girl. And I was like, what should we do? We gotta pray. So then I taught Shy and Psalm how to pray, and I taught Saint to pray. God really did his thing after.
And honestly, it seemed to show that she feels more like a kid when she's around her dad. Kim responded with, that sounds like an amazing day, and you could almost feel the sting. Her daughter's favorite memory did not even include her. The comments came pouring in. One person said, what's concerning to me is how much they push her to have a career. She's still a kid. Another commented, it is sad that Kim has put this whole you don't need school idea in her head, and now North believes it. Others criticized Kim for treating North more like a cool girl at school than her daughter, saying that the interview seemed like Kim was trying to impress North.
What's your favorite style right now?
I like very like streetwear and like 90s, Tyler the Creator, my dad, me.
What's your favorite song right now?
I Don't Love You Anymore by Tyler the Creator.
But Kim's not alone in this influencer backlash. Let's talk about Tana Mojo and her recent controversy with Brooke Schofield on the cancelled podcast. The two made some questionable remarks about Chaperone, a pop singer going through her own fame struggles. Chapo had been facing a wave of backlash herself, and Tana Brooke's comments came off as a little intense, to put it nicely. So is Chaperone. She's an emerging pop singer who's really taken the industry by storm this year, but not without her own controversies. Fans called her out for cancelling shows at the last minute, like backing out of the All Things Go Music Festival at the 11th hour and for cussing out a photographer on the VMA red carpet.
I don't think she likes what she signed up for, and I think that that's fair, but like, I don't think that you get to just not do your job the day or 2 days before you're supposed to and screw over the people who support you. Like, I don't think that you get to just make a decision to not do something, leaving people who traveled, who paid for hotels, who paid for tickets, whatever, in the name of mental health. And it's like, no one can say anything about it because of mental health.
She even stirred up some political controversy by refusing to endorse a presidential candidate, which led to more fan frustration. The pressure became too much, and Chapo recently spoke out about how fame has impacted her mental health. She admitted she had to take a step back from the spotlight for her well-being. Some fans were supportive, sympathizing with Chapo's struggles, but when Tana and Brooke got wind of it, they used their podcast to throw shade. Tana said, "I think the combo of I hate my fans and I'm performing at this festival, oh wait, it's cancelled. I need to prioritize me is a little much." Brooke chimed in saying, "Yeah, it's like choose a struggle."
And I've seen a lot of takes on this, okay, where people are like, maybe she didn't want to be famous, she just wanted to make art, right? And like she just wants to make art and live a normal life, okay? But then when you're going to the VMAs and you're walking those carpets and you're doing those things, you're signing up to be on a carpet of a bunch of people yelling. Like, you're signing up for rocketing into a new level of fame. Like, if you really don't want the fame, release the music and just be.
You could slay like Lana Del Rey. Like, no one sees Lana Del Rey anywhere. She's in a field getting married.
That's just
she's at Waffle House.
And obviously, yes, like some people just want to make art, and maybe my take is completely wrong, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, if you don't want this, you can't love the good things about it and then hate the, you know what I mean, right? So then whatever. She canceled the shows
like a day before she was supposed to do it, which is so because you have to think about like all of the fans who not only like live in the state that are going, but that are traveling from out of state, who have their flights and hotel rooms booked and like have taken work off. Seriously, like that is so to do so last minute.
Basically, they implied that Chapo should focus on her fans rather than her mental health. The comments did not sit well with people who were quick to take the issue to Reddit. A lot of fans were shocked about Tana and Brooke and how they would be so dismissive of mental health, especially when they faced similar struggles themselves. One comment read, "This whole thing pissed me off. They have zero empathy and clearly don't see mental health as important. She was sick." Another Redditor pointed out how hypocritical they were, given that Brooke had previously complained about people stalking her family. So it's not okay for people to harass Brooke's grandpa, but Chappelle should just get used to fame?
Saying I need to prioritize, like, what about prioritizing your fans? What about prioritizing your job?
Yeah.
Like, I'm deathly ill right now, but I wouldn't just be like, I need to prioritize me. I signed up for this. I know people traveled. Like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know.
I love her a lot, but I just feel like, God, I want her to get used to it.
I think that when you're in this beginning phase of your career, you're still, and maybe she doesn't want the spot, so who am I to say this, but like earning your spot, creating diehard fans. Like, someone can love your music, but to have fans for 10 years, a lot of times requires more than that. Your personality.
It makes me scared to be her fan. I feel like she won't even like me.
I think also to like get this gassed out this early on into her career is crazy, because granted, like, she did have a very quick like rise to fame, but also she hasn't been doing like this for that long.
It was clear that fans were not okay with Tana and Brooke's lack of compassion, and the backlash was swift. Fans called out their insensitivity, especially since Tana has publicly opened up about her own struggles with mental health in the past. And speaking of controversies, we have to talk about Ariane Greyes. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Ariane has a bit of a complicated history. She was kicked off Big Brother in 2013 after making racist and homophobic comments about fellow contestants. At the time, she apologized, saying they were ignorant and insensitive comments. I wasn't thinking before I spoke. She claimed she had learned from her mistakes, but fast forward to now and people aren't so sure she's changed. Recently, Ariane tried to relaunch her career by starting a Texas Mom Talk group. When it came out that she was being very selective with applications, rejecting most people, fans were curious and a bit suspicious. People on TikTok started asking, is she excluding people based on her type? An Asian TikToker named Surya, who had been hurt by Ariane's past remarks, called her out, saying that insensitive was not the word to describe Ariane's actions. Surya said Ariane needed to own up to her racism and bigotry. An apology isn't enough. She needs to show real growth.
So, out of all of the moms in Texas, we've somehow got it dwindled down to 7. These 7 moms apparently had the best application to be a part of a mom community. What does this mean? These moms are the best at creating playdates. These moms are the best at washing dishes, doing laundry. They have the best toys. They do the best parenting practices. What was on this application? Do they have the most money? Are we really seeing this play out?
The situation spiraled when Ariane blocked Surya instead of addressing her comments. This only fueled speculation that Ariane hadn't changed her since Big Brother days, and people started looking closer at her Texas Mom Talk group. The lack of diversity in the group raised more red flags, and fans began to question Ariane's intentions. As one commenter said, I don't think Ariane has grown at all. She's just as problematic as she was on Big Brother. So, there you have it, guys. Influencers facing backlash left, right, and center. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Kim's choices with North are a step too far? And what do you think about Tanner and Brooke's take on Chappelle's situation? Were they out of line? And Ariane, do you think she'll take responsibility and apologize to the public ever? Drop your comments, like, and subscribe for more of this celeb drama. And until next time, bye-bye.